Hi, and welcome to Discover Oklahoma. I'm Jennifer Reynolds.
And I'm Dean O'Lally. Today we're at the Chisholm Trail Museum in Kingfisher.
We are in the exhibit that is dedicated to Carl Mays, who was a Kingfisher hometown boy who made it big in the major leagues. Featuring rare baseball photographs of Carl Mays and Babe Ruth, along with all types of baseball artifacts, including gloves and uniforms dating back to the 20s. We'll have more on this exhibit coming up later in the show.
Alrighty, our first stop in today's show is in southwest Oklahoma. It's a beautiful resort in the Wichita Mountains. Lauren Ferrum takes us to Quartz Mountain.
The rains in early summer were a welcome sight for those who visit Lake Altus Lugert and the folks here at Quartz Mountain. With the lake levels back up, they're open and ready for business.
April 1st of 2015, we were 9% full. Due to the drought, we had been under 20% for the last 4 years. As of June 1st, we were 120% full. We have been busy. The first weekend that we had 40% water, we had bumper-to-bumper traffic, people just looking at the lake.
With the lake finally full, it's the perfect time to come and experience all that Quartz Mountain has to offer. There are lots of things to do here on the lake and beyond.
Lake Altus Lugert has got 3 boat ramps, the Hicks Mountain boat ramp, the main boat ramp, and we have a small boat ramp over at Beach Haven. So people jet ski, they fish, they water ski, they just swim, we have had a few sailboats out here. Winds are a little bit tricky, so unless you're a very good sailor, we kind of discourage that. Inside the park, we have the paddle boats and the putt-putt golf lease concession. We have a grocery store that has bait, so if you want to come fishing, you don't want to bring all your stuff with you, they've got it. Just outside the park, we have quite a few private businesses. We have the fun park that has bumper cars and go-karts and various rides. Then there's the water slides, and those are quite popular, especially when it's 105, 110.
The Quartz Mountain Water Slide is a family favorite. Generations of families have come here to enjoy the fun and the sun. The Bryce family has run the water slide for over 20 years.
We have a history of coming here. Everyone came to Quartz Mountain. We always came and swam, and we'd take the boats out, fish, whatever. The slides here today, as we stand, it's actually a family business. It's 2 slides. Actually, we purchased this 22 years ago from a business over in Duncan. And we went over there, moved it piece by piece, came over here, built a hill, moved a hill, actually moved a hill from one place to the next, put it in, and we've been here since, 21 years strong.
Here comes the fun part.
Paddle boating is another fun thing to do on the water. Lots of folks were out paddle boating, including us.
So my sister Morgan and I decided we'd try out the paddle boating this afternoon here at Quartz Mountain. And it's pretty awesome. Pretty hot, but pretty awesome.
You and your family can have the perfect Oklahoma staycation here at Quartz Mountain. You can take advantage of the camping, RV park, and other fun things to do on site.
We've got 105 campsites, RV sites. We probably have 120 tent sites. A lot of people come out for our trails.
And if you're more of the adventurous type,
we also have a Baldy Point climbing area. We're one of the few areas in the state that have technical climbing. So if you're into that, we are the place to come.
So whether it's fun on the water or on the land, Quartz Mountain is a great place for you and your family to come and visit this summer.
Come here, you've got sandy beaches, you don't have that everywhere. We have great fishing, great lodging. We have a beautiful lodge, 18 holes of golf, paddle boats. You have paddle boats and putt-putt and golf and all of that in one place, and we have it all here.
Discovering Oklahoma, I'm Lauren Ferrum.
You can plan your trip to southwestern Oklahoma with a copy of the Great Plains Country Guide. It's easy to get one right in your very own mailbox. Just go to travelok.com and click on Request Free Brochures.
Our next stop in today's show takes us to the northeastern part of Oklahoma and a unique tour of one of our state's biggest cities.
It focuses on Tulsa architecture. Our Jason Grubbs takes us along.
Kelly Gibson's passion for Tulsa started at a young age when her dad would drive her to downtown.
And my dad would say, "Oh, Kelly, look at all those buildings that are downtown." And then he'd say, "Look at all those buildings and all those windows." He said, "Every single one of those windows are making money." He'd say, "Just pick a building that you love, and you can be making money in that building too."
So which one became Kelly's favorite?
I've been asked that question, and I don't know if I can even answer the question, because there are so many different wonderful things about each building. There's so many fun things about each building. I love them all.
She shares that love for the city, its history, and architecture through her company, Tours of Tulsa. The business has been around for decades. Kelly worked for the previous owner and got the chance to take it over a few years ago.
We're doing tours all the time through Tulsa now. High points of tours and race riot tours, church tours, and many, many historical walking tours downtown.
Today, we're on an architectural walk through some of Tulsa's treasured buildings, true crown jewels of the city. Kelly says she's always excited to show them off and tell their stories.
Because if you can start bringing that building to life, then people are going to remember it from now on, really, to tell their kids and grandkids.
Starting at $80 an hour, Kelly's team will guide individuals or big groups. You pick the date, time, and length of your tour. They'll even hop on your bus if you don't want to walk.
We can see quite a bit downtown in 1 hour and see Art Deco, see many of the tunnels, hear many, many stories.
Stories like Oklahoma oil titan Wade Phillips. His initials are all over his buildings. The Phil Tower, where his office was, is in the Gothic Revival style. Across the street in the Philcade building was the Phillips family penthouse. The Great Halls are done in Art Deco. Gold is floor to ceiling. Underground is an old private tunnel. Phillips used it for security.
He'd go down in the basement over in the Philcade. He'd come underneath 5th Street right here through this steel door and go, whew, I've made it another day.
A lot of the buildings are connected by hallways and public tunnels. Within one city block, you can get an eye full of grand architecture, inside and out.
We're now standing in the street level lobby of the Atlas Life building, and it was built in 1922 as an insurance company. And the building was also built as an inverted T for Tulsa, or an upside down T.
Today it houses the Courtyard Marriott, the Atlas Grill, and the decades-old Tulsa Press Club. Atlas is on the clock and holding up the weight of the world as he watches over those having lunch.
At 4th and Boston, there is an iconic building, the Mid-Continent Tower. Inside, you'll see an exact replica. But this building did not always look the same. In fact, the first 16 floors are the original structure.
It was 1978 when Reading and Bates purchased Josh Cosden's building. But Reading and Bates wanted to add 20 floors on top of the existing 1917 building.
Architects constructed a second high-rise and basically floated it over the original structure by using a cantilever system.
And then a brand new facade was put around the entire exterior of the building to make it look like it was all built at the same time.
Kelly has many stories to be told at each stop. She hopes that her guests have at least seen or heard something new by the end of the tour.
But the most important thing I want every group to walk away with is a sense of pride for Tulsa, Oklahoma, and a sense that you want all of your family and friends to know the history of this beautiful city.
In downtown Tulsa, I'm Jason Grubbs for Discover Oklahoma.
You can find all sorts of things to do in Tulsa inside our Tulsa Guide, from the best restaurants to great places to stay overnight. Request your free copy today on our website, travelok.com. Coming up on Discover Oklahoma.
We're in Muskogee War Memorial Park to be exact, and there's a submarine here in Oklahoma. We're going to show you all about it. Come on!
Plus, we're checking out the history in Carrie Underwood's hometown.
Well, they're coming to the oldest building in Checotah.
And if you're looking for a great place for breakfast food, we have just the answer.
If you like biscuits and gravy, you should try the sausage and gravy kolache.
And just wait until you hear what else they have. It's all ahead right here on Discover Oklahoma. Great travel tips anytime, like Discover Oklahoma on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
Welcome back to Discover Oklahoma and the Chisholm Trail Museum in Kingfisher, where we are enjoying the Carl Mays exhibit, dedicated to a man who grew up here in Kingfisher, learned to play baseball in this town, and went on to a legendary major league career. And of course, there is so much other history to be enjoyed here in this museum and at museums across the state. For example, one in Muskogee.
Absolutely. Jeff Roberts now takes us on a tour of a World War II submarine. It's called the USS Batfish.
I absolutely love my job. We're in Muskogee War Memorial Park to be exact, and there's a submarine here in Oklahoma. We're going to show you all about it. Come on!
The story of the Batfish getting here has been dubbed the biggest example of maritime theft, mainly because Oklahoma was supposed to get the USS Piranha. Park Director Brent Trout helps make the long story short.
In 1969, the Batfish gets decommissioned. It's struck from the naval record. It's served for many, many years. It's great. It has a wonderful history. And they say, hey, is that one available? I'm like, well, sort of, but sort of not. Next thing you know, it's 1972. It's on the Arkansas River coming up this way to Oklahoma. They get a call back. Did you guys take the Batfish? Yeah, we took the Batfish. Well, you're not supposed to do that. Of course, the response is, you want it back? It's not possible. So 72, it gets down here to the port. 73, we drag it on in here because we're afraid it's going to float away, and it's here.
So what they would do is they would load the torpedo in, they would launch it, and then they would immediately dive because these torpedoes actually have sound heads.
I'm ordering pizza. What would you like?
After you've checked out the Batfish, you have to walk through the War Museum. Inside the War Memorial, you can learn all about the Batfish and more, like its impressive record of sinking 3 Imperial Japanese submarines in a 72-hour period, or the journey it took to get to Muskogee.
Okay, so here in the War Museum, they actually say the kids love this, and you know I'm the biggest kid on Discover Oklahoma, so it's 2 bells. That's loud. It's overused, but this really is the best kept secret you have to check out. The Muskogee War Memorial Museum and the USS Batfish. I mean, after all, Kilroy says it best. He was here, so was Discover Oklahoma.
The USS Batfish Museum is open Wednesday through Sunday. Admission is $6 for adults, $3 for kids, and there are discounts for military members, senior citizens, and groups. You can read more about the USS Batfish on our website, travelok.com. Still ahead on Discover Oklahoma.
You know, they can relate to that, and they can be proud of America.
A place of patriotism and pride right here in Oklahoma. And get ready to tempt your taste buds in Tulsa.
This is our savory side. This is the sweet side.
We're heading to the Oklahoma Kolache Company a little later right here on Discover Oklahoma.
Hot off the press, order your free copy of the 2015 Oklahoma Outdoor Guide and get an all-access pass to the very best places, attractions, and activities Oklahoma has to offer. Go online to travelok.com and order your free copy today. It glows in the dark.
Welcome back to Discover Oklahoma, coming to you from the Carl Mays exhibit at the Chisholm Trail Museum in Kingfisher.
All right, our next story is by a very specific request. We got a call from a group of people in Checotah and says, you need to come out.
Got to do the story.
Yeah, absolutely, about the new permanent exhibit at the Katy Depot. So we did and found something quite spectacular. At the corner of Enterprise Avenue and Paul Carr Drive in Checotah sits the restored Katy Depot, and when you walk in...
Well, they're coming to the oldest building in Checotah.
The depot used to be in another part of town and was to have been destroyed, but members of the Checotah Landmark Preservation Society paid an incredible $10 for the building and moved it here.
What you see when you come is not only the oldest building, it was built in 1890, but everything in it is structurally is of that period.
And now the building houses memories from the depot's past, like the old ticket booth, as well as the scales where freight used to be weighed. There's even a tribute to Underwood. No, not that Underwood, the other Underwood, Carrie, Checotah's favorite daughter. There are mementos of an era when folks communicated by telegram instead of Instagram. But wait, let's back up a minute. Remember I said the depot was at the corner of Paul Carr Drive? There's a monument to him at the entrance, and inside a replica of the ship named after this Checotah native. That's correct, a U.S. naval ship. So how does a hometown boy come to become part of the Navy's fleet as well as American history? This exhibit tells that story, the story of a hero named Paul Henry Carr.
The first part of the exhibit, it's broken down into 3 sections. The first part deals with the life of Paul Carr as he was in Checotah growing up. And so we have some artifacts from his youth, his letter jacket when he was a high school football player, Had a guitar that he played when he was a kid, learned to pick a little bit.
The back part of the wall is dedicated to the Battle of Leyte Gulf, the one in which Carr died. One Navy admiral used the story of Paul Carr at the Naval Service Warfare Center.
And he said that Paul Carr exhibited what he looked for in any sailor is that they stay on their station doing their job to the bitter end. And the motto of the ship that named after Paul is courage, will, and determination. And Paul Carr fought in the battle, stayed at his gun. He was a gun captain to the end when he was not able to fight. He actually died there aboard ship before it sank.
The Navy posthumously awarded Carr the Silver Star and other prestigious medals, and they named a guided missile frigate after him, the USS Carr.
The U.S. Navy was gracious enough to loan us some artifacts from the ship after it was decommissioned. We have the quarterdeck ship's bell, we have some of the ship's china, and we have some expended shell casings from the 6-barrel Gatling gun called the Sea Whiz. They gave us some of that to display as well.
Paul Carr's niece says this exhibit has educational components to it, but when kids come here, she wants them to know what a real hero looks like.
The Spider-Mans in these, they come and go with faddish, but this is a real hero, one that they can really attach to, one they can read about in school, it's in their books. You know, they can relate to that, and they can be proud of America.
And be proud that we can learn through this exhibit that faced with overwhelming odds and difficult obstacles, we can stay and do our duty and our job, even if we may not feel like we have it in us at the time. And because of Paul Carr's heroism, in this little corner of Oklahoma, the American flag still shines brightest of all.
If you're ready to plan your next trip across our state, you're going to want a copy of the 2015 Travel Guide, and getting one is easy and free. Just log on to our website, travelok.com, and click on Request Free Brochure.
Up next on Discover Oklahoma.
So we're proud to be the only Oklahoma kolache restaurant.
Where to find these sweet treats right here in the Sooner State when Discover Oklahoma continues.
Welcome back to Discover Oklahoma, taking another look at the Carl Mays exhibit inside the Chisholm Trail Museum in Kingfisher. Carl Mays had an extraordinary career, grew up here in Oklahoma, went on to the majors, became a legendary pitcher. It's well worth your time to come here and take a look, learn more about this great ball player. But don't take too long to come and check out this exhibit. It closes at the end of September.
All right, if you haven't been to our next stop in Tulsa, well, come on, time's a wasting. Julie Chen now takes us to the Oklahoma Kolache Company for some very sweet treats.
At the Oklahoma Kolache Company, you'll find a new twist on an old favorite.
A kolache is a sweet bread, and we fill it with all homemade ingredients that are made in-house.
A lot of people come in wanting what, say, their grandmother used to make for them when they were kids. And unfortunately, we don't have any of those. There's nothing wrong with it. We just have taken a different direction. So be open-minded. If you like biscuits and gravy, you should try the sausage and gravy kolache. If you like apple pie, we've got a phenomenal open-faced kolache that's got Granny Smith apple, cinnamon strudel, and a touch of green chilies.
Brooke and Matt Kelly opened this Cherry Street breakfast and brunch spot in 2014. They also own Lucky's next door.
So we kind of just started with the dough recipe. And once we found something that we liked, then we started coming up with ideas of things to stuff in it. And then it just sort of all evolved from there. I mean, we've done things from turkey and stuffing to meatloaf to macaroni and cheese. Really, the possibilities are endless.
This is our savory side. This is the sweet side. All of the menu items line up with the shelves below.
You'll find more than a dozen original breakfast in a bun flavor combos here. From ham, egg, and chive to peanut butter, bacon, and banana. What's your most popular kolache?
The kielbasa, homemade Polish sausage. We grind the meat, flavor it, smoke it, and cook it all in-house.
My favorite would probably have to be the pork belly with the blackberry jam.
I love the ranchero. The ranchero meat with the black beans and the jack cheese. It's wonderful.
Kids love the food here too.
My favorite thing was the dirt bomb.
It's kind of like taking cinnamon toast to the next level. A nice, sweet, plump muffin dipped in butter, rolled around in cinnamon and sugar.
Wash it all down with some locally roasted double-shot coffee.
We can make the cappuccino, the frappuccino, the macchiato, the latte, plus several signature drinks with flavors.
The Oklahoma Kolache Company is open Monday through Saturday from 6 to 11 a.m. The kolaches are made fresh daily, and once they're gone, they're gone. So your best advice is to come early.
There are not any restaurants in Tulsa that are doing kolaches right now. So we're proud to be the only Oklahoma kolache restaurant.
You gotta try it. They're delicious. There's always something new on the menu, and they have really good coffee.
Best breakfast, and absolutely. Even if you're a picky eater, you think the combinations are really weird. I felt that way, but they are delicious. Try it.
In Tulsa, I'm Julie Chin, discovering Oklahoma.
You can find all kinds of great places to eat in Oklahoma with a simple search on our website, travelok.com. Click up at the top where it says Dining for more information.
A big thank you to the folks here in Kingfisher at the Chisholm Trail Museum for hosting us this week. We do want to remind you that the exhibit Carl Mays From Kingfisher to the Big Leagues is open through the end of September. This is a great exhibit for any baseball fan to visit, and it's just one of many you can find here at the Chisholm Trail Museum, which is open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 5.
Coming up next Saturday on Discover Oklahoma, we're going inside Frank Lloyd Wright's only skyscraper built right here in Oklahoma, of course, how you can enjoy a stay in this historic landmark.
And an incredible meal is waiting for you in western Oklahoma, a restaurant worth the drive, coming up next Saturday night, right here on Discover Oklahoma.
So until next time, remember,
there's always something to discover in Oklahoma. Production vehicle provided by the Oklahoma Ford Dealers, official partner of the Oklahoma Tourism and Recreation Department.
Rendering our American flag, ladies and gentlemen, Bill Tallbear Sr.
Indian Nation's special to me because this is actually my home turf. The Cheyenne and Arapaho people, I was born and raised around here, so coming home, this is like a homecoming to me. There's so many different tribes here in Oklahoma that we have powwows just about every weekend. Every nation has their own annual event. So like, the Otos and, the Cheyennes and Arapahos and then, the Poncas, they all have their separate powwows annually. The cool part is, that there's always powwows here in Oklahoma every weekend. Sometimes even 2-3 times a weekend there's like one going on. Cool thing about about powwows, they're multicultural. They're open to everybody. Anyone can come out there and just see the exhibition, see the dancing, see the different styles of dance. It's open to everybody. There's no restrictions, and there's no fee most of the time for the people to come out. So like I said, be more than happy to just come out and see this out. See Native American culture at its finest.